Hey YouTube! And another video of this guitar bass. I did some alterations on it. I had it set up funny before. When I originally did it, I had the 5-way switch doing stuff, so it was so in the neck position it was the neck, in the position 2 it was the 2 guitar pickups, in the middle it was the bridge pickup, in position 4 or 2 depending how it goes, the one, what would normally be, it was the bass and the bridge pickup, and then if you had it down it was the bass. I also had a wee switch on it, which I was thinking the last time I was playing it was turning on and off the bass. It sort of was, but I put a stereo output on it so I could split it, use an insert lead, which like a stereo lead one end, and have it plugged into 2 amps to get the 2 things working. But the bass was always set up a bit funny, and although it did work, it was kind of out of phase in a couple of positions, and it was like, I built this like 9 years ago or something like that, so it was really before I really knew what I was doing properly. Now I know what it was doing, so I've now sorted out the rotary switch to do what I originally intended it to do, and instead of that switch I put a 3-way pickup selector, so up is bass, middle is bass and guitar, down is guitar, and it's now just a 3-way lever on the guitar, and there's a master volume. So the 3-way levers just bridge both neck. So to set it up, what I've done is I've now got my bass amp on and my guitar rig on, and I've put an A-B switch in the floor, so I can just switch between the 2 amps as well. So the bass now sounds better. So I've got it turned on. Before it was a bit out of phasey sounding, and there was also an awful lot of interference. I think there was just too much wiring. I'd done too much as opposed to keeping it simple as I could. So as it goes on this, fully down on this rotary switch is P-bass pickup, so which is really all I would ever really need, but it seems I had 2 in it anyway. If we go up to the next one, it gives you the jazz bass pickup. And if I go up to the next one, it gives you both pickups on. In parallel, and I put to the last one, I get them both in series. And I'm going to use my super switch with the guitar on this pickup. And I want to reiterate just how incredibly comfy this guitar is to play. Unlike every other double neck I've ever had a shot of, it's a different beast completely. So I used it on Friday night in Cranking House, and on Sunday in a band I'm thinking of starting up with my pal Ivor and the Rob from After the End, Black Sabbath band. On Sunday morning playing the guitar, and then I took it into After the End, the Black Sabbath band on Sunday afternoon and played bass on it, and It performed admirably, and this is I fixed it on Saturday night, so it was working on Sunday. The bass was, and it was totally fine. It sounded actually really pretty good. It's a good bass, like if it was just a bass, and you kind of, I didn't find it that restricting. I was saying before that it's like, oh, you can really only get up to there before you start hitting the strap with the. With your hand, because it's, you know, it's not ideal, but actually when you're playing in the heat of the moment, or not the Asia song, you're playing, it's not actually, you just have to push against the strap a little bit to get up there. Which isn't, you know, a normal playing, that's pretty much as high as you really need to go. Actually, what it did make me work out was Sweet Leaf. Well, instead I'm playing it, even though I didn't really need to, but it makes it much easier to play now, because I now know where that note is, because it's dead easy to find, as opposed to there's always a bit of a sort of slide up until you hit the right note, you know, just the distance between the two. Yeah, so the way this is wired up now, obviously because it's now got just the mono output, put it onto the guitar, you're now playing to the bass amp of the guitar. You can see that the guitar is louder than the bass. I think it just is, that's just the law of the world. I've got the guitar amp on, and I go to the bass, I get distorted bass solo. Navigating. Stereo look pedal, what's you found to use for it? The last one, not easily anyway. yeah, so when I was in the studio on Friday, I turned it up with this. All the guys thought it was hilarious, and obviously it sounds pretty good as well. So I got asked, "Is there any way you could play bass solos during one of the songs anyway?" Which, if I could see if I could think of 2 songs or find 2 ways of fitting it in, it would make it justify me actually taking this to gigs. And I think it would go down well because everyone would just be like, "Whoa, what's that?" That was the first time I've ever actually tried switching between the necks quite quickly, and it's actually sort of doable. It is annoying that the bass is a little bit quieter than the guitar. There's only one volume control, but I feel like the guitars are fickle things. If you turn the volume down on a guitar, it doesn't sound the same. You lose that oomph that you get from the last 2 notches on the volume control. So, what I maybe consider maybe quite nice, a wee bass boost on this, like a battery compartment. Maybe it doesn't even really need to be controlled. Just like when you plug the lead in, it turns it on, sort of thing. Just to raise the bass up to the same level as what the guitar is. Maybe if I don't know if there's some sort of preamp you can maybe get. I was actually thinking of this while I was playing there. But, maybe some sort of preamp that's maybe got a wee gain dial, but you can just adjust it from in the back. Because I don't want to put any more. There's not enough lot of real estate left on the top of this guitar for knobs and stuff, really. I quite like the present setup of, just a 3-way switch for the guitar, a 4-way rotary for the bass, a master volume, then a 3-way switch to choose which neck you're listening to. There was a wee bit of noticing. A bit of the guitar does come through when you're playing the bass. More obviously when I play open strings. Actually, maybe what I could just do is just have a 5-minute solo segment in the middle of me just playing on my own, just going with a strobe light, right? There was actually some talk of there was a bit we were having a jam on Friday. I think it was the end of Black Night actually. It just kept going, and I switched on to the bass neck just because I've been playing the guitar for a few bars, and the singer thought we were going to go into One of These Days because it's got 2 basses in it, and it's like, I should maybe have a listen to that if I can remember how you play One of These Days, or if I ever knew how to play One of These Days. Or is that Doctor Who? This is actually the second video I tried to do today. I tried to do one earlier on of the... I've upgraded the pickup in my Westone Raider 1. It's had the original MMK45 Matsumoku pickup in it, which I've been saying they're amazing, and it's like, but it's damn brittle sounding, and I think it would be really good if you were in a band that had like a couple of acoustics or a piano, or you're trying to cut through that mix. But when you're playing when you're a solo guitar in a band, it's like you don't want that pure thin shrilly shit. So I mean that's the pickup there if anyone's ever seen an MMK45. These were fitted to all, pretty much all West Tones arias, stuff like that, between sort of 82, maybe even before that. Well, that was 82, and then the one in the back there, this, which I don't think I've done a video for yet. My Urchin, it should have two in it, so it was originally had that, but actually when I bought this it had a Gibson T-top pickup in it, and it didn't really sound that good. It was alright, and I actually sold the T-top pickup and pretty much got nearly all the money back for the guitar, and ended up getting the guitar for pretty much nothing. So I was pretty pleased with that. So I might put that MK45 back in that. I don't know. As I said the other day, I was one of the reasons I looked this out is because I was after a pickup. I was looking for a pickup that I remember buying years ago, and someone had decided to make like a Jackson King V type thing, and it was horrible. But it did have like a Charvel neck on it, and Grover tuners, and a Schaller Floyd Rose on it. So you know, the best of pieces, and this is the pickup that came from that. Never knew what it was, but it had like a braided cable on it, and it kind of looked vintage. So when I was looking for it, I remembered I put it in this guitar, and then earlier on today I was looking through the pickup box again, and I found it. So I didn't actually remember putting it in this guitar. I think the bridge pickup in this is a Goto, if I remember correctly, which it sounds fantastic. I mean, that was one of the reasons. I mean, this was going to get taken out and put in that, but it sounds so good. Oh, that's for that fuzz pedal on. Put the rat on. It sounds great. It sounded great in the studio as well. Just sound. And even goes well with the Ibanez V1. Well, that's me already. This made a pure ridiculously long video, but I did negate what was playing on that. The video I did earlier on was just shit. It's not very often I do a video that I just decide it's too shit to put up. That shows you how bad it is with all the shit ones I put up. So this was the pickup that I thought that one was. It turned out it wasn't. So I'm going to just put that on just for a quick 2 seconds, just to see how it compares to that one. Oh, notice that I put these two on the wall intentionally because they're both 1982 from Matsumoku, and I'm pretty much sure they're designed by the same person. Look at them, they're very similar. Obviously they're not the same shape, and they're not the same make either, but they're the same. There's something very similar about them. Oh, what I have just remembered, which was what was going to stop me there, is this guitar has like a Telecaster type output on it, so it doesn't take the right angle jack that I had on this end of the lead. So this is really just a reference for me. If anyone's still watching, then you don't have to be, but I just want to hear how this sounds through the same amp and the same thing as what that one just did. This guitar weighs nothing compared to that. Enough of that. I think I've said before, but this guitar is awesome. I took this into the studio a couple of weeks ago to play with Cranking House, and it plays amazing. It's just that pickup was just too brittle sounding. It sounded great when I was playing the songs, but see when it came to playing the solos, because it was so sharp, there was a huge section missing in the music, so it just became like, it sounded very wiry and on its own. And one of the reasons I like this so much is the top of the headstock, which I from now on are going to do interesting things with the tops of the headstock. I don't know, when this one's painted, you know, glittery, but that's the bit of the guitar you see when you're playing it, and I kept noticing when I was in the studio because of the way the light's hitting off. It's doing it in here as well. It comes all crazy colours, and depends on what time of day this guitar changes colour. Kind of looks sort of champagne-y a little bit just now, just with the unnatural light, but when daylight shines on it, it's like totally blue, silver. It's like kind of mental. I think you just get that with a lot of glitter silver guitars. I've got a Grant single pickup thing that's got it's not two-tone, it's just silver, but it does change this. It seems to go green and gold, and depending on what time of day it is and what colour light you're shining on it, just changes colour. So I think I'm probably going to use this live, and if I can think of some way of incorporating a reason for taking a bass neck as well, I will. I had it in with the Sabbath band on Sunday. There was a bit where we're playing what do you call it? A National Acrobat by Black Sabbath. And I'd worked out I did a video of it last week, and I was talking to Craig, the guitarist, and he was like, I tried the harmony pattern. He was like, where is it? And I was up here, just switched on to the guitar note and was. Which is great. Hold on, I'll show you. Back up the bass again. So that's not really enough use to. I really can't justify using it in the Sabbath band, even though it sounded fine. But I don't know. Maybe I should be. And we're already in 3 band. Maybe I should be starting some sort of prog band where it's just me and a keyboard player, and they can maybe cover the bass while I'm playing the guitar or something, or build another one and give it to somebody else so they can swap over at the same time I am. Just try to make some sort of. Make it so there's some use for having a bass and a guitar in one thing. Doing the loop pedal thing is difficult. It's. I mean, that's what I was actually watching Ed Sheeran, and I was actually quite impressed with what he was doing, because he'd obviously written the song so he could play it in the loop pedal, and it just like it puts such a limit on what you can do. But then again, if you put a limit on it, maybe it means it's quite good having, you know, a limit so you know what you can work to. Kind of rather than just I can do anything. You've got to do something between that. Which I think is what I'm sort of starting to understand with some of the pedals as well. You know, the chorus and the phaser. It's like you can't do anything on it, but because you can only do a quarter of things you can normally do, you have to focus in on only doing them, and that might give you a little bit of inspiration to do something different. My God, I think this might be a record for the longest video yet. But I did do 2 guitars. Well, two guitars, a bass, a guitar, and I talked a lot of shit, and I told you about stuff. So. Rock and roll!